Hey there, my name is Anthony Taylor, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of correct strategy design and how it can impact your organization. And I want to use F1 racing as an example. So, my name is Anthony. I'm the CEO at SME Strategy. We facilitate strategic planning sessions and help teams develop their strategic thinking. So, it means that we walk them through the process of creating a strategic plan. A lot of our customers are SMEs, small to medium enterprises. They've never done strategic planning before. They've just been doing stuff. And so we believe that strategy is super important because strategy is about choices. It's the decisions that you make that are going to determine your success. And so one of the cool things that I like to do on my weekends is watch F1. And you might have seen F1 racing. If you've seen the Netflix special Drive to Survive, they talk about, all of the race cars and that kind of stuff. And basically every week it's 20 racers that compete and they have to drive 70 odd laps. They have to make sure that their car is not only fast, but there's actually a significant amount of strategy involved. What is the strategy? Well, deciding how fast you go when is one of them. The tires that you use is another. When you do pit stops is another. And how you work with your teammates is another. It's a surprisingly large amount of strategy that goes into F1 racing. Recently, the Ferrari driver, if you know Ferrari, this guy named Charles Leclerc, and he's lost his past couple races because of poor strategic choices. Most notably, in the last race, they pitted him like 30 laps in advance to change his tires. And they're like, why would you change my tires now? Another race, they said, hey, why don't we have you come in here when you were leading, because we want to make a change that should last us the length of the race to help us win. Now, every other team is making these strategic choices, but it's been notably bad how his team has been around these strategic choices. Now, some strategic choices, strategic bets, so to speak, go really, really well. I'm going to change my tires to the fastest tires near the end of the race. I'm going to lose 30 seconds by changing my tires, but it's going to help me go 10, 15% faster for the remaining laps. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And so the key part about making strategic choices is really developing the recipe, developing the framework within your organization that you think is going to develop the best success. Now, there's not always one strategy that fits all. In the F1 example, they say, hey, plan A, we're doing plan A. Oh, no, we're doing plan B because something's changed. Oh, we're doing plan C because something else changed. And so it's important that the team and the driver talk all the time to make sure that as conditions change, as the environment changes, that the driver goes to the strategy that has the most success. Now, why is that important to you? As a CEO or a senior leader, if you don't have conversations about what strategic choices that you're going to make, then you're not making any choices, or everybody's making different choices. So it's really hard to run through a game plan if nobody knows what the game plan is. So the first part of creating a good strategy is going through the process and making sure that your leadership team or your team is involved in it. The other, it goes into strategy design. Are you making the right strategic choices? Now, with strategy, nothing is a given. I can't say, hey, this is the strategy, but we want to pick the strategy that has the highest likelihood of success. So if you aren't looking at risks as part of your strategy, if you aren't looking at pure outcomes that you want, if you're not looking at the external environment, and if you're not looking at your entire business system as a whole, your strategy is going to be flawed. One of our clients sent us this video about the dissonance between strategy and planning, and that they're actually kind of opposed. Well, the person who made the video through HBR is correct that strategy and planning are kind of different. And then guys like me have put strategic planning together. I think what we do different than most consultants is we do approach the strategy and planning with a holistic perspective. So if you only look at one thing and you say, hey, our strategy is to do these three things because we want to do those three things, I don't think you're going to win. If you include risk analysis, if you include an external analysis, if you make sure that you consider all of the internal, external market factors, the value chain that you deliver for your people, you're going to be more successful. I think where F1 and where Ferrari specifically dropped the ball over the past couple of weeks is they only looked at one piece of the puzzle. They only looked at their own system. They didn't look at the other racers. They didn't look at the timing, and they were making kind of decisions in a vacuum. These are professional people that do this for a living, but I still think that they dropped the ball. So for you, as you're going through developing strategy, whether it's formally or informally, does your entire team know what you're doing? And are you looking both internally and externally for your strategy? If you're not designing your strategy the right way, you're not going to have the best results. And as Tony Robbins says, a strategy is just a recipe. You need to have the right ingredients, the right time, and the right order. So for your team, do you have the right strategy? Do you have the right recipe for success? And have you gone over that recipe with your team? I mean, there's a lot of lessons to learn from Charles Leclerc and the F1 Ferrari team in terms of what not to do for strategy. There's a lot of great strategists out there. And so how are you going to apply strategic thinking with your team, with your organization, to make the right bets that are going to get you the success that you want? If you have any questions about how to design a strategic planning process, you can be sure to reach out to us. We have a course on leading the strategic planning process so that you can do that. And we also facilitate the process for you so that you can participate instead of lead. That way you can really be in the driver's seat, pun intended. So thanks for watching. Love to hear your feedback, whether it's just about F1 and you want to tell me who your favorite racer is. I'm partial to Pierre Gasly, but that's another story. But just appreciate you watching. I hope it helps. I hope it helps you think of strategy in a different way, because that's what we're here to do. So once again, my name is Anthony Taylor. I'm the CEO at SME Strategy. I hope today's video helped, and I'll see you next time.